Gossip is not the gospel. That's the title of the message. All right, now, as we examine and analyze what is or what is the definition of gossip. What is gossip? Elder, what is gossip? Okay. Okay, this. Okay. All right, anybody got anything else? What is gossip?
I got one.
Okay, what is gossip?
Spreading rumors or spreading somebody else's, like if they could find you or something and you take it, spread it and tell somebody else. And John said spreading rumors, I guess.
Okay. All right. You got anything else? I'll take a third. You said you got one? Okay, what you say?
It's like if you tell somebody something and it's personal, they don't never tell you, but you're gonna keep it, and then you just spread it out.
Okay. All right. All of those go into it indeed. All right. So gossip is said for the definition here. It says a casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. Alright, so again it says a casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. All right, so in examining the definition of it said an unconstrained conversation. Why would it be unconstrained? Why would it be unrestricted or without limit? Why would their conversation be like that? Okay, what you got?
The conversation is weird, like when you say something.
It's weird like when you say something. Okay, what you got?
It's like this conversation between you and another person.
Okay, between you and another person and not everybody else. Okay. You got some? Something.
Repeat what you said with unrestrained.
A casual or unconstrained conversation. So why is the definition of gossip? Why is it a casual or unconstrained conversation? Why is there conversation without restriction or without limit?
Because usually the people that's talking, they don't have no limit of what they're putting out on you.
Okay.
I mean, they just trying to get out whatever they can, and it's never really positive. It's always negative.
Okay.
When it comes down to it, they don't know if it's true or not. So.
Okay. All right. So they're putting out whatever they can. So in this case, I'll tell you, let y'all in. It's true too, everything y'all said. But the main reason is unconstrained. The main reason the main reason. There you go. That's the answer right there. That's exactly right, Elder. Hey, control that. That's exactly right, Elder. It ain't no limitation of what they saying. Is they just saying whatever because the person they talking about not present to correct them and say, hey, hold on, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. So they just saying whatever. They're running wild with it. That's exactly right because the person is not present. All right, and so the conversation is unconstrained. It's about not the people who talking. It's not about the person who talking, but it's about other people. And it said typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. So these things have not been proven to be factual. They making up stuff. Again, which goes into what? That is not, if it's not the truth, then it's a lie. Alright, so it said these people are lying on other people. Alright, so I told you go to Psalm 23. Psalm 23 verse 1. Oh yeah, yes, Exodus 23. Thank you. Exodus 23. Verse 1. Alright, said, thou shalt not raise a false report. Don't bring up a fake of something that didn't even occur. Don't bring up a lie. And then the report is like you go look at something, you analyze it, and then you carry back what's supposed to went on. News reporters, they go to the scene, and then the camera cut on, and they say, well, we're here at such and such street, and this what happened. They reporting and telling you what's supposed to be went on and giving you the information about that particular matter. So the Most High told us, the children of Israel, thou shalt not raise up a false report. Don't be talking about something that you don't know about. And then just thinking about it as the words coming out of my mouth, it goes into what we read in 2 Timothy, where it said people going to be incontinent, which means not being able to control themselves. Bodily, but then also verbally. You can't control what you say. You don't have enough self-restriction to, it's something going on around you, and you instead of you just being able to sit still, you feel like you got to go tell it to everybody, and then you tell it wrong. All right, but there's another fold of it. It says, put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. And there's a lot of weak-minded people who, when they hear these reports that they don't confirm to be true, they believe what they hear. And so then they become into cahoots with the person who's defaming the other person. So that means they put their hand with the wicked. They too become false witnesses. They too become believers of the nonsense. They too become the gossipers. Alright, even what was said, I told them before, I said, when the Messiah told them in the last days there was going to be many false prophets, it wasn't that people was going to be just making up lies and saying, well, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and be flogging. It was because these people heard this other guy or this other woman who was saying this was going to take place, and instead of them studying and researching and then going back to confirm it to be true, they went out and repeated the same thing. They didn't do their own diligence to study their case. So they repeated a lie, which then made them liars. Alright? Read the next verse, Elder.
Verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to reach judgment.
Alright, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. So you got a lot of people that I bring up a false report against you. I'm lying on you. But then I spread it like the guy was doing, what I'm telling you about. I try to spread it to as many people as possible to get them to believe it, so that they too could be against you. For whatever reason, I have a problem with you, which normally is the spirit. Alright? So it also tells, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many. So even if you feel like, man, no, that ain't right, everybody else saying that it's right, you saying it's wrong. But because it's 10 people saying that it's right, don't you be weak-minded to say, well, okay, it is right, because everybody else saying it. No, you be that one person to say, no, that's wrong. This is what the Father telling us to do. This goes into accountability. This goes into what will make our nation stronger as a people, because we checking one another. Alright, and then that's another problem with the gossip. The people who hearing these things, they not stopping the gospel. They like, you said, what happened? They feed into it. No. Just like a guy, okay, even with this. Guy ain't been there for 2 months. He come to me on the air like, man, what's up with so-and-so? I'm like, who? You know, so-and-so, he be what's up with him? I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, people deal with me differently how they deal with everybody else. This is what I tell them. Now, tell me, it's crazy to me how people, the same thing I see, right, when we started this convocation off with. It's crazy how a person will go all the way around who they probably got a problem with and go talk to somebody else who ain't got nothing to do with it about that person in private. Like, why you won't go tell them? Go tell them. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You ask me what's up with them. You go ask them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with it. We grown in here. Supposed to be. You know what I mean? But so he asked and I tell him that, and you know, later on I realized, nah, I just checked him and didn't even realize. Because it was on my mind so much. I'm like, somebody gonna hear it. I'm finna tell this to somebody. And he happened to be the one. Alright, but it said, don't speak in a call to decline after minute, to rest judgment or wrestle judgment, or to be at odds with what the judgment is. If the judgment is that you supposed to get a whooping, if the judgment is that, okay, you supposed to be banished, if the judgment is that, okay, you supposed to lose this amount of profit or whatever it is, you supposed to just be corrected or your feelings hurt or whatever it is, you mad, whatever, exposed. If that's the judgment, don't you align with the rest of the jury just because everybody else think that they right. We got a perfect example of this. Let's go to history of Susannah real quick. History of Susannah. So we're going to be in the Apocrypha. The history of Susannah. Let's see what page we're on. Judah, Tobit. Yep, it's on page 109 in the Red Apocrypha. Alright, so just recalling the mind about this particular account that was written for our learning. You had Susannah, who her husband Joachim was a man who was regarded and respected throughout our nation, and a lot of people always stayed at his house. Now, her being beautiful, it said the two judges, or two of the judges, the ancients, the elders, it said that they came to Joachim's house to watch his wife Susannah day after day. To where then they say, well, you know what, we're going to plot to where we're going to have her to ourselves. And then if she don't consent to us lying on her, we're going to have her put to death. Alright, so we're going to go to a verse, let's see. Go to, start with verse 34. History of Susannah, start with verse 34. Alright, so at this point, Susannah had been brought out before the people, before the nation, to get ready to face her judgment. Because the word is that we saw Susannah with somebody else other than her husband in the garden. We saw it, and the young man was too strong. He leaped out the door, he left, we captured Susannah, and here we are. Now, her family out, her husband there, her parents there, her children there. And everybody like, dang, you know what I mean? What the world? Was she really doing that? Was she really in adultery? Let's see. Imagine yourself in this situation. Imagine yourself in this situation. But you know, you haven't done anything. All right, keep going.
Verse 35. And she weeping, looking toward heaven, and her heart trusted in the Most High.
All right, but her heart trusted in the Most High. Go ahead.
And the elder said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then a young man, who there was hid, came unto her and lay with her. Then we that stood in a corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran up to them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leaped out.
Mm-hmm.
But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify.
These things that we testify, or this is what we saying. This is the report that we give, but it's not confirmed as being true. This is the report that we give against Susannah. Keep going.
Verse 41. Then the assembly believed him.
All right, then what?
Then the assembly believed him.
All right, then the assembly believed them. But why? Go ahead.
As those that were the elders and judges of the people. So they condemned her to death.
All right, so the assembly believed these old men because they were the elders of the people, because they were older, because they had a reputation, because they had a position, because of whoever they were, because of their status. They believed that Susannah had did that. But I know that day in and day out, one day you can be up and on it with the Most High, and the next day you can be falling in a terrible state. Matter of fact, in the day you can fall and have to repent again. Have to be repentful all throughout the day. So for one to just say, okay, well, this person, they holy all the time. No. But they believed the elders because of that, because of the position that they had. It said the assembly believed it and condemned her to death. So this woman's life was on the line because of a lie that was told. A report that wasn't even confirmed to be true. Let me see. Jump down. Let's see. Keep reading. 42.
Verse 42. Then Susannah cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting power, that knoweth the secrets and knoweth all things before they be. Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me.
They have borne false witness against me, a false report. Go ahead.
And behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such thing as these men have maliciously invented against me. The Most High heard her voice. Therefore, when she had dared to be put to death, the Most High raised up the spirit, the Holy Spirit of a young youth, whose name was Daniel. Verse 46. Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
I am clear from the blood of this woman. Y'all lying. I don't agree with what y'all saying. I'm not, what we read in Exodus 23, I'm not finna follow this multitude. I'm not finna speak in a call to decline after me. I'm not finna agree just because all y'all think this will happen. This is what Daniel's saying. I'm not finna put my hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. This is what Daniel telling us. Go ahead.
Verse 47. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, What mean these words that thou hast spoken? So he standing in the midst of them said, Are ye such fools, sons of Israel, that will come in?
Go ahead.
You have condemned the daughter of Israel.
Right there, without examination or knowledge of the truth, you have condemned a daughter of Israel. All right, and that's what a lot of people do. We hear this gossip, we entertain this gossip, we be the gossipers, and then we get people, or people come against us because of what's being heard, but it's not confirmed. It's false, leading us to death. Whether it's death, it don't have to be physical death. It can be the death of your, like I said, the injure your reputation. In the day we live in now, even down to our children, our babies, the bullying, the verbal bullying, which that too is a false report. That too can be under the banner or the umbrella of gossip. So some of our babies have went to commit suicide because of their reputation being injured. Adults likewise. So now you see some of these celebrities who they didn't got into with the Baphomet and whatever, but everything that's being reported about them ain't even true. But the media put out, well, they did this, did that, then they go kill themselves. Because the whole world like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Every time you see them out in the store, they turn them down. Oh, you are this, you are that, you are that. Alright, but what we taking from here, that thing needs to be examined. Alright, let's go to Psalm 15. So this the guts of it. This the importance of it. Because the end game for us, the end game or the desire that we want is to dwell where? Where do we want to dwell at when we die? In the New Jerusalem. Psalm 15. We want to dwell where the Most High is when we die. Okay, in the sky, but the New Jerusalem actually coming to the earth. So heaven is really coming to earth. Don't forget that. So you want to dwell in the New Jerusalem, in where the new earth and the new heaven is. Well, he said, ain't no more seas. I'm going to talk to you about that. Psalm chapter 15. Alright, Psalm chapter 15. You just start with verse 1. Psalm chapter 15, start with verse 1.
Alright, the book of Psalms, chapter 15, verse 1. Lord, who shall abide in my tabernacle?
Read that over.
Master, who shall abide in thy tabernacle?
Alright, who shall abide in your tent, Father? Who shall live with you? Go ahead.
Who shall dwell in thy holy hill?
Who shall live in your holy hill? Your place of habitation. Where you reside at. I was going to answer. Go ahead, verse 2.
Verse 2. He that walketh uprightly.
Alright, the person that walks uprightly. So is a gossip or somebody who you think will be operating uprightly? Don't answer that yet. Go ahead. And work of righteousness. Go ahead.
That speaketh the truth in his heart.
Alright, he that backbiteth not with his tongue. Alright, so they're speaking evil, they're ill report, they're gossip. Go ahead. Nor doeth evil to his neighbor. The master told us, no, it ain't no eye for an eye thing. Go ahead. nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor. So neither will they speak evil against that person. You had several people to speak evil against Hamashiach. Only people who case he got on the Pharisees. He got on the Sadducees. Those that were hypocritical. Who weren't being truthful with who didn't speak truth in their hearts, which is the man. But anybody else, he didn't speak ill against them. Alright, so that's who's gonna dwell in the tabernacle of the Most High. Keep going. Alright, in whose eyes a vile person is contemned. Alright, so but we extracting out of this that the gospel, that'll keep you out the kingdom. We don't think that goes that far. We don't think that that's a heavy situation right there. Because like I said, it's things that's within that gospel. There's the elements of wickedness. It's a lie. You lying. Okay, then if we're going to say, well, what about talking about somebody's situation and they just not present, but it's all truth? Okay, the scripture tell you, don't be speaking about other men's lives. Don't meddle with it. What business of that is yours? Mind your business. If you ain't finna help that person or be a blessing to that person, leave that person's business alone. If it's not being used for righteousness, okay, if you're gonna speak on it, let it be a reason of righteousness. Like, look, this was going on with them. Or if you're gonna step outside of it, at least let it be true, confirmed. Let it be confirmed truth if you're gonna speak about your neighbor. Alright. But that's what we're gonna take for that. Let's go to Psalm 34. Flip over to Psalm 34. Psalm 34, verse 13. Keep your tongue from evil, brothers and sisters. Let us keep our tongue from evil. Go ahead. And our lips from speaking guile, vanity, hurt, destruction, defamation of one another. Go to 1 Peter 2. First Peter chapter 2. The scripture told us, let us speak that which becometh the gospel. Let us speak those things. Our mouths will get us in more trouble than our bodies will at times. The mouth is the conversation and the words from the mouth is what led to the fist fight. What led to the gun shoot. It's what led to, okay, we know what they got over there in they land, and that's what we want. So then that became a war. First Peter chapter 2. It's gonna be you got Hebrews. It's between Hebrews and James, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it after James? Okay, it's after. Let's see. There's Hebrews, James, and then Peter. Yeah. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 20 is where we're going to start it. Go ahead. All right, so what honor is it in if I rob somebody and then I get punished for that and I take my punishment patiently? What honor is there for me? I deserve that punishment, right? Okay, because I did something wrong. I robbed somebody. So that's what he's saying. You be buffeted for your faults and you take it patient. What glory is it in it? But continue. What did it say? Alright, so when you do well, but then you get pushback and you get people talking about you and you get this and that going on, and you take that patient, you suffer that, that's acceptable with the Most High. Let them talk. Don't you be the talker though. Keep going. This is what we was called for. This is why we was brought into the truth. This is why we Christ brought us to him to bring us to the Father. To suffer, because he had to suffer. It's an uncomfortable lifestyle. But one thing about discomfort is that when discomfort comes, it's a point of growth. When you became 4 years old, them size 2Cs that you was wearing, you couldn't feel them no more. To go try to put your feet back into them is going to be uncomfortable because you grew past it. You grew. So when situations happen in our lives and these things are uncomfortable, brothers and sisters, we growing. All right, but if we don't capitalize on it and we allow whatever discomfort or what's causing the discomfort to make us draw up and fall away from Christ, to stop showing love, to stop being the vessel who wants to be used for righteousness, then we don't grow. Matter of fact, yeah, we do grow, but we grow wickedly, not for righteousness' sake. We want to grow in righteousness. I said, for even hereunto were we called. Go ahead.
Because Christ also suffered for us,
Leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. So Christ is the example that we supposed to be looking to. Say, okay, how would Christ deal with this? How would Christ operate in the situation that I'm in right now? And when we calculate that, then you go with what your move gonna be. If it's Christ-like, that's the way to go. But if it ain't Christ-like, you need to sit there and be still until you figure out how Christ will move in that situation. We should. I'm not excluded from this. All right, that ye should follow his steps, verse 22. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in Christ's mouth. So that's the example too. Don't let the guile be found in our mouth. We just read in Psalm 34:13 about the guile and speaking no evil. I said, one no guile found in Christ's mouth. Go ahead with 23. Who when he was reviled, go ahead. He didn't say, okay, because you speaking ill against me, I'm going to speak ill against you. And I'm going to lay a confession out. I've done that before. Temperature, what's the word I'm looking for? Not temperature. Tempers. flare up. Tempers get heated. We get mad. We get angry with one another. We speak out of anger. We say stuff we don't mean. Or we say stuff that we mean. But we have to get to the point where you can speak and say everything you want to say. I got to stay in the spirit, though, to where even though you allowing that spirit to drive you right now, to be talking foul and vile and gal, evil, I'm not going to return it to you. I'm not going to say, I will so-and-so. I'm not going to try to get even on that level. We have to master it. To be Christ-like. I said when he was reviled, when they talked evil about him, he didn't talk evil about those people. What glory? What would make him to be glorified then? What would make him set apart and holy and different than them? Or what would make us holy and set apart and different from the world if we allow ourselves to be driven by the same spirit that's brought to us? All right, finish the verse. When he suffered, he threatened not. And we know he got much power. He said, I'm going to make your head explode for this. He ain't say, y'all trying to feed me this vinegar while I'm up here thirsty. For that, I'm going to let y'all insides be dry as the desert. Because he got the power to do it. He ain't say, for y'all hanging me on this tree, I'm going to make sure it be repeated over and over and over again for y'all. He took that. He suffered that. He endured that. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of us losing our endurance right now. We losing our endurance. But the scripture tells us, he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So if we can't endure what's going on, brothers and sisters, we're going to move from under the banner of Christ. We're going to move from under the hand of the Father. And we'll end up being consumed. And I don't want that for us. But the bond that'll keep us strong to be able to endure these things, what was empowering Christ to be able to endure those things, was the love that he had. He said, I'm coming to lay down my life for y'all. The Father told me, the Father gave me the mission. I accepted the mission. And even though y'all hate me, even though y'all doing such and such to me, I'm still finna lay down my life for y'all. I'm still finna give up the ghost for y'all. I love y'all that much. Y'all, he said, what I'm doing right now, you don't even understand what I'm doing right now. But you gonna understand hereafter. That's the kind of love we gotta get to, because that's what's gonna get us through. But hatred creep in, envy creep in, jealousy creep in, the want to gossip, that creep in. It's going to tear people apart. That separation going to leave you out there floating in the sea in the ocean of acid. And the next thing you know, you see them giant Satan ships pulling up on you. Finish that out. All right, but he committed himself to him that judged right. He committed himself to the Father, saying, man, I got to go through with this. The world filled with hatred. What they doing, they gossiping and prosecuting one another, lying on one another, devouring one another. They doing all this. I don't want to be like this. I want to be a light in a dark world. I want to be love where it's hatred. Hope, encouragement, and motivation where it's despair, and people who done gave up on themselves. I want to be the good vessel where it's evil at. I want to show people the way through my actions and my speech that Christ do exist. The Most High is real. The Holy Spirit does still operate. I want to be that person. Go to Leviticus. Leviticus 19. So, after we read the definition of gossip, it said gossip is not the gospel. It's not the good news. The gospel oftentimes is the bad news. Or news that's given a bad perspective. It ain't the good news about, hey, look, so-and-so just did this, man, they helped these people. They dealing with this, they homeless, but they still end up telling me, man, they thank the Most High. We don't go run and tell the good news about one another. We want to go run and tear each other down. We don't want to run to one another and say, hey, I praise the Most High for you. We want to run and tell each other all the bad stuff. We don't want to praise one another, encourage and exhort one another like the Scripture says. We need that motivation. All right, Leviticus 19, hit verse 11. Alright, you shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one to another. And so even if it's a lie, whether I'm lying to you directly to your face or running off and lying about you, I'm still lying to somebody else. The Father said for us not to do that. Jump down to verse 15. We shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Go ahead. Alright, so in judgment, just because this person poor, yeah, they toe down. Shoot, yeah, they homeless. Yeah. But when it comes to judgment, far as if they done right or wrong, you don't supposed to have extra mercy on them just because they homeless. Just because that now is either right or wrong. If you're gonna be the judge about the situation, is this right? Is this true? Is it wrong or is it a lie? And whatever action you did that's between those two ends of the spectrum of what's the possibilities, whichever one you line up with, you got to be ready to face the penalty for it. Or if you the judge, you got to be ready to give out the penalty for that. So it said, don't have respect. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor. Go ahead. Nor honor the person of the mighty. Okay, just because you rich, got a lot of money, because you got a high status, because of whoever you are, because you famous, because of I don't care who you is. Whatever you did, was it right or wrong? Now we just seen in history of Susannah, the assembly, it said the assembly believed the elders because they was the elders. Just because they were the elders, they believed what they were saying about Susannah. Lying on her the whole time. Finna get this woman killed. Got everybody looking at this woman upside her head like she filthy. I can't believe she did that in her husband's house. This just messed up. But ain't nobody did no investigation. Ain't nobody examined the matter. They just say, oh, well, that's the judges. They said, hey, they must be right. No, the Most High said, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. And so, besides the elders, he raised up somebody who you wouldn't even think of, a young person, Daniel. He ain't nowhere near supposed to be where people say, man, who is this guy? Yeah, the person ain't even expect. He the one telling them like, man, look, I'm free from this lady blood. Y'all finna sit here and kill this woman, man. Ain't none of y'all examine what these folks saying. Y'all crazy. Y'all fools. That's what Daniel called it. Ain't none of y'all talk to Susannah. But all y'all ready to kill her. He said, I ain't finna have that blood on my hand. Go ahead with verse 16. Oh yeah, finish 15, I'm sorry. But in righteousness shall we judge our neighbors. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
Alright, don't go up and down, Ben. You running here and there. Guess what so-and-so did? Get what they said. Running back and forth telling people, and what I was told took me a minute to understand it. Say every dog that come with a bone gonna carry one. I'm like, man, what do that mean? I don't even understand what it means. Then I thought, okay, oh, you bringing this information about so-and-so said this about you. Or so-and-so said that. Or you just got something to say. But when I respond, now you're going to take my bone back to whoever you just came to me talking about some, hey, what's up with him right here? What's up with this dude? He said this and that about you. Okay, you come to me like that, and then I tell him, I don't know, I don't like him either, man. I don't like him. Now you're going to go run and tell him that I said I ain't like him. No, I'm stopping all that. Look, go tell him what you was. You go see what's up with him. I'm cool with him. He cool as far as I know. He ain't never gave me no problem. She never gave me no problem. I said, don't be a talebearer. Don't be going back and forth, steady starting stuff. Being an instigator. Being that gospel. Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Most High.
All right, and we know the blood is the life. So don't stand against your neighbor and you don't even know the cause. It said, let every word be established by 2 or more witnesses. It said with one witness, you ain't even got a case. No, and that's even going into the judicial system. If the one witness ain't the person confessing that, yeah, I did this crime, one person can't get that person convicted. That's why they go through the neighbors like, did you see this person? They say, okay, then they build a case up. So okay, if we do got this one person saying it, look, we got other footage on camera showing that you did this. But one person can't be all that you have to say, yeah, they did this, or yeah, they said that. It said 2 or more is how you get that thing confirmed to be the truth. And let them be righteous, the ones who confirm it. Because you can have a group of liars, a group of gossipers, false witnesses. All right, let's see. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
And that's what be the spirit operating in the people who run in gospel. Hating that person in their heart. And it said hate. If you hate your brother, you can even be seen and viewed as a murderer. It's the same as murder. Said don't hate your loved one. Don't hate your brother, your sister in the heart. Your people. Said don't hate them in your heart. That's a commandment. Yeah, they might get on your nerves. But if you let hate creep in and it be the driving force in you, you're going to become bitter, polluted, and corrupted. Your light going to be dimmed. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
All right. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor So when we see, if it's something wrong, yeah, correct that brother, correct that sister. Don't let them operate in their sin. If they transgress it, don't pull them to the side. Hey, look, like I had to do a brother before at one of the feast days. This was years ago though. He was new. You know what I mean? But being a brother to my brother, I tell him, hey, now you know you can't be in here looking at behinds in here now. He said, oh man. And he took that, he said, man, and he told me he loved me for that. And after that, I saw that brother straight. Then he didn't operate with that no more. Because I'm looking and I'm observing. He pulled me to the side again that night. Man, I appreciate that letting me know, man, that you got real love for me. And that's the exchange that it's supposed to be. Alright? Said, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge or occur any grudge against the children of thy people.
Alright, this is your brothers and sisters. You shall not avenge. So, okay, if they did do something to you, like what we read about Christ being an example. They reviled him, he didn't revile again. He suffered, but he didn't threaten them. Okay, they did you wrong. Do you believe in the Father or not? Because I done seen it several times. They talking about me. Go back to the plantation. One of the top dudes, he want to start trying to get in my business. He already had an oppressive spirit on him. Now he finna targeting people, getting them fired. So now I became his focus. Next thing you know, I prayed against that thing. Opened my Bible up, I forget where it was at, but it said that let his office be taken from him and let another one sit. Man, don't you know after that, all I had to do was be praying and I'm Father, remove this devil. I ain't go to this man. I ain't have to go to him. Next thing you know, y'all know they done fired him, didn't it? People around the building happy. Man then got to cutting up. He the one firing people and telling us, he cracking jokes about them being mad about losing their jobs. He get fired. Now he want to try to come up there to where they got to call the police on him. Take his picture, make sure he don't even better come on the campus no more. Didn't have to do nothing to him. I didn't have to avenge what this man was trying to come against me with. So the Most High said, thou shalt not avenge. Go ahead. Nor bear any grudge against the children of your people. Internal problem. If you're going to have a problem with your neighbor, talk to your neighbor about it. Go ahead, finish the verse.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High power.
All right, but we shall love our neighbors as ourselves. I done got to be framed about men and women. And guess what? Each time, I'm like, okay, Father, you know. So they done defamed and threw stones and mud on me. I ain't finna go there with them. I thought about it. Want it too bad too. I said, I'm going to be quiet though, because I know what's going to happen. One case. Oh, so-and-so, he ain't good. You mistreat women and doing like this, playing. Okay. Then I ain't get to tell my side of the story. But other people say, oh, what he did there, he like that. Bagged away from me. Cool. Come to find out now the person saying, oh, I upgraded from the Bible. I no longer need the Bible. Man, it's Satan a lie. Truth ain't in them. Didn't have to recant. Well, it did teach me that I was an Israelite. So now you done got to the point where you saying you don't need the Bible. This the spirit I've been seeing anyway. This what I done bagged away. But nobody knew that part of the story. But now everybody see that, and it's like, okay, no, that person ain't working in the spirit of the Most High. Yeah, I know. And the judgment from the Most High, he'll come back in a way where we can't punish these people. He'll punish them in a way where their spirit be interrupted. I'm talking about the driving seat of your soul, your mind. We talked about Nebuchadnezzar. We didn't seen that. We didn't seen everything that, just the works of the Father. He got the best judgment. Isaiah 37 said that our power is to sit still. All right, let's go to Sirach 3 though. Sirach chapter 3. Sirach chapter 3. Verse 24. Page 72.
Chapter 3, verse 24.
Yes, sir. Come.
Book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment.
All right. Many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. So you got a lot of different relationships with brothers who was brothers, sisters who was sisters, tight. But because the adversary said, okay, let me test their relationship. I'm gonna put some in their mind. I'm gonna make them feel like this and that, and they never ask the person to say, hey, did you really mean this when you did? I didn't like that, or so and so. They don't do that. So now it's just in their minds to where now they start thinking that it's one thing, getting deceived by their own opinion, get that evil suspicion, and then now they start mistreating the person. Now they running out gossiping. But it said, yet they got overthrown in their judgment. They didn't judge a righteous judgment, brothers and sisters. Gossip is not the gospel. Because these are the different things that come from the gossip. These type of trouble, these type of problems. Even so much so, okay, then you run off in gossip, and then you run into the person who is operating in righteousness. Go to Sirach 41. Somebody who got these mindsets. Sirach 41 and 12. Have regard to your name. Go ahead.
For that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold.
So the person who operating in righteousness, who regard their name, who regard that they supposed to be this brother or sister for the Most High. And we ain't digging into the fact that we all got issues. We talking about surface level. Who got regard to their name and say, look, you doing that gospel. Hey, you said what? Hey, how about we both go talk to this person you talking about? Shutting everything down. Or having regard to their name and say, I'm not going to be the one gospel. Having that type of integrity about themselves. Respecting yourself enough to not operate in that spirit. Said, have regard to thy name. Be mindful of who you are or your identity, your reputation. If you understand it, you ain't going to be the one running around trying to tear down the next person's reputation, defaming them and injuring their image. But if you ain't got that type of respect for yourself, then you may do that. But if you talking about you going according to what the Most High saying, you gonna make sure you do it that way. Well, let me make sure this thing is lined up with what the Father said. Let me make sure I take it step by step for how He told me to do it. Go to Matthew 18. Matthew chapter 18. Gossip is not the gospel. Matthew 18. We're going to start with 15. Give me a second, though.
Matthew chapter 18.
Hold on. Okay. Matthew 18, 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his faults between thee and him alone. If he should hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
All right, so we have a problem with somebody. The first step for this, because I just said we're going to try to do it by the steps according to what the Father laid out for us. So what are those steps? These the steps. If your brother offend you, your sister offend you, it's a problem with somebody, like a man, like a woman, go to that person with just y'all. And when you do, we have to go in the spirit of truth and love with understanding. So when I pull this brother to the side, I say, well, look, man to man, I didn't like how you came to me. All right, when I say that, I'm going to come with the mindset to let them know I'm a man, but also to receive, okay, what is he going to say? Well, he say, well, brother, I didn't know I offended you. You know, I apologize. I didn't mean for it to be that way. You know what I mean? But this is what I thought that I was doing. You know, and I'm kind of raised like this, or this what I didn't know. So and so, however that thing like. But this, the first step is you go to that person, y'all two by yourself, and have that conversation. And it said if that brother hear you, that he understand you, she understand you, and y'all can come to an agreement about the matter, you gained that brother. And what else they tell us? That means that when we talking, our goal is to unite with these people, our brother and our sister. We trying to keep souls out of the fight. We trying to stay out the fight. All right. Verse 16. What did it say?
Verse 16. But if he would not hear thee,
But if they don't want to hear that, they want to get belligerent. Oh no. What did it say?
then take with thee one or two more.
All right. So
And it
hold on. So if the person won't hear you, so that means you tried the one-on-one thing. But if we really looking for the soul, because this was a lot of Israelites missed the point. A lot of Israelites missed this point in the truth and whatever. We don't deal with each other based off the soul, even when we say we do. We're not dealing with the fact to say, man, when I go out here to hit the streets and prophesy to the wind, I'm thinking about these folks' soul. Where they gonna go when they die? Where I'm gonna go when I die? Because if we really knew what hell was, if we really understood that, and then too, if we really understood what heaven was, you wouldn't want nobody going to hell, really. You would want to take part and share in heaven. So then it's easier for us to wish these bad stuff on one another. Or just throw a person away. I said, but if they don't hear you, because you concerned with their soul, because you love your neighbor as yourself, yeah, you tried one-on-one, didn't work. I'm finna go again. And this time I got 2 or 3 witnesses with me. Or say 1 or 2 more, so there's 3 total. So I got somebody else with me like, look, I'm trying to make amends about the matter. I'm trying to talk to you, brother. I'm trying to talk to you, sister. Go ahead.
In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
That every word may be established. So whether that thing go smoothly or whether it go sideways. Even if it goes south, you got 2 or 3 people with you that say, well, man, you know, bro, he tried to work that thing out with Sam. Sam just wasn't hearing it, man. He sat there like, bro, like, how can we make it right? Sam just steady going off. Like, for real? Yeah, man, Jerry, what you say? What he see? Jerry like, yup, man, he tried to work it out. Sam just, I don't know, he had a pride spirit on him. I don't know. Maybe the brother was dealing with something. He didn't want to link in with the brothers no more. You got 2 or 3 witnesses to say that's what it was. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
All right, and if you neglect to hear the 2 or 3 witnesses and you, then you go tell the church. You tell the body. Go ahead.
But if he neglect to hear the church, now be unto me as an evil man and a husband.
All right, so you can release that person. You can even start to view that person as somebody who like, man, he don't want to roll with the Most High. She don't want to roll with the Most High. But if we skip these steps and go straight to that, we're not operating in the spirit of Christ. If we haven't pulled that person to the side to have a discussion, if we didn't take that from, if that didn't work, and then go with 2 or 3 more people, or 1 or 2 more people to have 2 or 3, and go straight to that's a heathen, that's a publican, we're not operating in the spirit of Christ. If we didn't tell it to the church, went straight to that, we're not operating in the spirit of Christ. Keep going.
Verse 18. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. Again I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done with them of my Father which is in heaven.
Okay, so even with the conversation before they had, if we pray, Father, bind Satan. We really want, we trying to get to a point where this gossip can stop. Loose to us the peace. Loose to us this unity, Father. The brotherhood, the sisterhood, family, truth, power. Let us come together like that. And then even within it, it's telling us this is why you want to gain your brother and sister. So that you can have another brother or sister to pray with. So it can be 2 of y'all in agreement. So that what you ask for in the heavens will be done. What it say in verse 20? Go ahead with it.
Verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
That's what we're trying to get to with their brother and sister. So that we can link in with these people so that Christ can be amongst us. But if we divide it in conversation about the gospel, which is not the gospel, Christ ain't trying to dwell between us like that. Y'all quarreling. It even tells us, they say, before you go to the altar with your gift and lay that down, if you got a problem with your brother, leave your gift at the altar, then go talk to your brother and make that right. Then you come make your offer. There's a lot of prayers that's not being answered right now between people because you at odds with somebody, or you ain't forgave somebody, or you got this problem with whoever. You hindering your own blessings with that. We hindering ourselves from getting what we could have because the internal issues of the heart was plaguing our nation as a whole. Why we can't come together. Jump the gun on brothers and sisters who look like us. But let it be Esau. Let it be Ishmael. Let it be Moab now. We're going to go hurry up and make that right. Hurry up and do that. Humble ourselves before them. Hey man, you know, I ain't mean that. Step on your shoe. Oh man, it's okay. Esau didn't even apologize about stepping on your shoe. It's all right, man. You cool, you fine. Or if you do apologize, you good. But let that be your brother or sister. Step on your shoe. Tell them it's fine, but in your mind, like, oh, they meant to do that. Or just be like, oh man, don't step on my shoe, man. I can't take that, man. You know you weren't supposed. Ready to fight them. Ready to kill them. But you wouldn't do these heathens like that. You love these heathens like yourself, but you hate your brothers who look just like you. Alright, so gossip is not the gospel. It's not the good news. If we're going to be speaking about one another, speaking about things, let it be that which becomes Christ in the manner and the character of Hamashiach, so that the Father can be glorified, so that he can dwell amongst us. That's what we want. All right, questions, comments, and concerns. Questions, comments, or concerns about today's message. Is everything understood? Come on. Okay. All right, so let's pray out.